let's turn to your employee base for a moment. A lot of us, of course, have contended with remote work and so forth. Um, in the agricultural production arena, or in the food processing arena, or in your own office uh, work groups, what approaches did you take, and how successful have they been, and what long term changes do you expect to stick?
Yeah. So our office staff on March 17th went home on the onset of COVID and has not yet gone back to work. We've been working at home now for well over a year. All office functions, all of our headquarter functions, any of our remote office functions, um, and it's gone incredibly well. We're on Zoom calls all day long, like most students, and we have collaborated and communicated and connected and done everything from an accounting function to a customer service function to research and R&D. We've done it all virtually remotely and done well. At the same time, we've had to really invest significantly in our plants and our operations to make sure that those kept running to keep up with demand, and on our agricultural sides and our production and distribution centers. We put a number of measures in place, from social distancing to, plastic shielding to on-site nurses clinics to test employees coming in and out of our facilities, changing our break areas. We changed all of our shift schedules so there was breaks and downtime between shifts. So there was an employee congregation going on. And we were a little bit lucky. There were a few industries of heavy manufacturing that had major breakouts and major issues. And most of those have a lot of employees in small areas. The way that our facilities work, we have a lot of automation in our plants and facilities. So it's fairly easy to keep employees separated. So pleased with that work. We heard from, employees were very thankful, very appreciative. Most of them told us they felt safer at work than they did outside of work during the midst of COVID. We had less than 2% of all of our employees come down with COVID, and none of it came from our locations. It would have come from a personal interaction somewhere. So feel good about that, and our ability to take care of everyone. So as we've done this now, keep in mind, before March 17th, we were still debating on whether we should let employees work from home on a Friday. We were not that progressive, but we have truly appreciated this. And as we develop our go back to work plans, return to work scenarios, what we're going to do, one, we've already, our largest offices, we have a big office in Pittsburgh, we have a big Pennsylvania, we have a big office in San Francisco. We've redesigned those offices to create more space, more hoteling solutions for employees, more meeting space for employees, less dedicated office space. We see, as we look at our workforce, 25% of employees don't need to come back to work. They can do their job very well remotely. There's really not a need for them to come back. 25% should. 25% should be in an office, and we're making those plans. But the middle 50 is going to be very flexible, where we have employees working in the office a few days a week, at home a few days a week. So it's going to be a very flexible environment because it's gone so well for us. And another interesting point is, as we've hired during COVID some pretty significant leadership roles, we've hired them remotely and we've let those employees stay where they're located. We haven't thought about relocation. So I have a relatively new head of sustainability. She lives in Dallas. My new head of my VP of e-commerce, she lives in Minneapolis. Our new head of shopper marketing lives in Chicago. She's doing fantastic. So we're kind of thinking through that, we're saving money on relocation. Not everybody has to live in San Francisco, which is very expensive, and they can do their jobs very well remotely. So it's a whole new era, John, of thinking about the structure of a corporate headquarters versus remote working. And I think it's going to give employees a lot more flexibility. I know I've enjoyed it. I've been in an office for 30 years. I've never worked from home until this year. And I kind of like it. I like the flexibility. I feel like I can get more done, and schedule my time and manage my time. And so we do miss the personal interaction, and we're working hard to create that in the right manner as we return to work. But remote work is here to stay.
Who are the 25% who have to come back? How do you categorize them?
They're doing functions that are just office based, that really require that that they access certain parts of the company. Maybe it's internal audit or a function like that, where they just need to be there and be able to explore and navigate and use the tools at their disposal. But it's, yeah, 25% might be a high number, as we because we're kind of asking employees like, okay, well, we've done it now for a year. Let's think about what should be here and what shouldn't be here, and what functions within a department of a financial role or accounting role, what should be here and what can be run remotely, and why, right? So it's few and far between, and it's more the specialized roles that just need to be in that office setting to access things that they can't access online.